This video contains or may contain spoilers for Hollow Knight. One prominent aspect of Hollow Knight's lore is the existence of higher beings, which are like deities. These beings have powers such as the ability to create life and living indefinitely. But which exact creatures that we encounter or hear about are indeed higher beings? I'll be detailing them in this video. Of course, there's the higher being behind the antagonistic force of the game, the Radiance. She's definitely a higher being because she created the Moth Tribe and she can influence the minds of bugs simply by having a presence there. And she is the source of the infection which devastated Hallownest and caused its ruin. Then there's the being who established Hallownest and has a sort of rivalry with the Radiance, the Pale King. He used to be a giant creature called a worm, but that creature shed its shell and was reborn as the Pale King. The king's light was powerful enough to expand the minds of bugs, which remained even after he died, and he had some ability of foresight. The Pale King's mate was the White Lady. She is a type of higher being called a root. Possibly due to her plant-like nature, she was able to give life to tens of thousands of offspring in the form of the vessels. She seems to be able to sense the world around her with her roots. As a higher being, she is able to focus soul and pass that ability down to her offspring. Another higher being related to plants is Un. She is a giant slug who created the vegetation and inhabitants of Greenpath from her dream. During the events of the game, she is trying to call out to her kin for them to return to the dream from whence they came, but they seem unable to follow the call and find her, likely due to the infection clouding their minds. One higher being's power can in fact overpower another, after all, just as the Pale King expanded the minds of bugs who were previously locked in the Radiance's controlled hive mind. A higher being was introduced with the Grimm troop, the Nightmare's Heart. Some fans have mistaken the troop's leader Grimm to be a higher being, but he is merely a mortal bug channeling the power of the Nightmare's Heart. He does appear to be destroyed by the heart once he is defeated as the Nightmare King. The Grimm troop travel to distant lands to conduct their ritual of collecting nightmare flames to be fed to the heart, likely to sustain it. We know that Hallownest's ancient civilization, originating from the Abyss, worshipped the void itself. On its own, void is simply a living substance, but if it can be unified into a single form, the form it takes can become a higher being. The Knight, with the power of the Void Heart, becomes the Shade Lord in two of the game's endings in order to destroy the Absolute Radiance. A more obscure creature also associated with the Abyss is the being known as the Abyss Creature, from which lifeblood originates. It only shows itself in two places, the lifeblood room in the Abyss and a secret room in Godhome. A creature this powerful and with such widespread influence is surely a higher being. With that in mind, it also makes sense that in Hallownest, drinking its blood was taboo, as that would be seen as honoring another higher being besides the Pale King. So what do you think? Which higher being do you find most interesting? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to give it a like, share it, check out my other Hollow Knight videos, and subscribe to my channel for more. I hope you're doing good, and I'll see you next time.